Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Keishu tennin shokugyo Amida sen ryozoku son Zai hi mime andako Muryo bushi shui ne Konji kishinjo nyo sen no Shamata gyo nyo zobu Ryomoku jo nyaku shorenge Koga chodai midason Mensen enjo nyo mangas Iko yu nyo sen nichigat Shonyo tenku kushira Koga chodai midason Kannon chodai kanchuju Shuju meso hoshogon Nobukugedo makeman Koga chodai midason Mubi muku koshojo Shutoku keket nyokoku Shosariaku toku jizai Koga chodai midason Jippo myomon bosashu Muryo shoma josandan Isho shujo gandhi kiju Koga chodai midason 尊根体保険知証券前言少女名大座おひざ上女線の子が町内みだそん自歩将来勝負し権限人図し安楽戦後尊厳上業子が将来みだそん小無常無我と薬女水月伝よろ一種説法無明寺子が将来みだそん非尊無説無悪名薬無如になくどふ主任死心教非尊子が将来みだそん非尊無量法勉強無少種悪知識往生不退死亡大子が将来みだそん仮説非尊功徳寺修善無変如海水小逆前言少女者衛生種上小非婚ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性祭道本菩提心往生 Da. Golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Koichi Mizushima, and I am one of the minister's assistants here at the Buddhist Church of Sacramento. And I wanted to thank all of you for joining us for this morning's service. Here we are, almost at the end of October. And who could have ever imagined that we would be in this state of the world today? When you think back to the beginning of the year, it all seems like a distant dream, doesn't it? When you think back about all of the things that you took for granted in your daily lives, it makes you realize how important all of the small things truly are. You know, one of my favorite memories at the start of this year was being able to watch the musical theater production of Dear Evan Hansen at the Community Center here in Sacramento. How many of you saw that show, right? I remember that we enjoyed that show so much. We enjoyed it so much that we actually bought a second set of tickets and we watched it again just a few days later. And I never imagined that that was going to be the last live show that I would be able to watch in the year 2020, and maybe even into the year 2021. And I remember when we watched it for the first time, we were with a group of friends, and we were in that packed theater full of fans, and we all watched it together. We all laughed together, we all cried together, and we all immersed ourselves in the actors' performances, right? It was truly a beautiful moment. And now I realize that it was even more beautiful because we were able to all share that experience together. You know, missing out on these types of enjoyable activities has been very hard. Being away from friends and loved ones has been hard. Being away from school has been hard. Being away from our temple has been hard. And being away from work has been hard. Well, maybe not being away from work, but all those other things, very hard, right? And we've had to miss out on so many special events and birthday celebrations and holiday gatherings. And that has also been very hard. And although this has all been extremely difficult, as Buddhists, we understand why we must endure this. We understand that we must make these difficult sacrifices for the safety and well-being of others as well as ourselves. And we accept the burden of socially distancing ourselves and wearing masks and taking extra precautions, not just for ourselves, but for our fellow human beings. And as Buddhists, we have already agreed to protect all who are weaker than myself, just like we recited in the Golden Chain this morning, right? And that's what it means to really be a link in Amida's golden chain of love. Each of us must do our own part. Each of us must stay strong, and we do this for everyone. And that brings me to the point of my message this morning. I've been talking a lot about the things that we've missed out on and the things that have been difficult, but one of the greatest sufferings that I have recognized during this time is just how divided our nation has become, just how divided we've all become. I feel as though we've been pushed to such extremes. You either believe this or you believe that, right? We have all these labels, right? You're either blue or you're red, you're left or you're right, liberal, conservative, But what happened to us being human beings? You all have every right to believe whatever you want. And we all can be divided on many issues. But there is one thing that we should not be divided on, and that is how we all value human life. All human life. That means all colors, that means all genders, that means all shapes, all sizes. And just because someone has different beliefs than I do, that doesn't mean that we have to hate each other. Or that doesn't mean we have to value each other less as human beings. And as a Buddhist, I believe that hatred, I believe that that is a learned behavior. I don't believe that hate is something that's naturally printed in our DNA. I believe hate is learned and hate is taught. And hate grows through ignorance and fear. And if that's how hate grows, that's also how we can eliminate hate. We can eliminate hatred through education. We can eliminate hate through compassion. And we can eliminate hate through perseverance. So at this time, I want to take a moment and share with you this little video clip that I came across. And it's only a couple of minutes, so let's watch this video clip together right now.
Could call this a dog tail, or you could call it a duck tail. But for the 25 people that live in tiny Strout, Minnesota, it's not a tale at all. For them, the story of Max and Quackers is already legendary.
Sometimes on my way home, I actually kind of hope they're out there because they're just too precious to look at.
And they're hard to miss. On any given day, rain or shine, the pair can be found sitting along Highway 28, looking like a greeting card, just waiting for a caption. It's a lonely country roadway, and in some ways that's symbolic of how this unlikely pair came to be.
Initially, he was very energetic. He was everywhere.
Max was 5 years old when Patrick and Kirsten Riley adopted him. He became friends with Sasha, another husky they had at the time. But when Sasha passed away, Max was alone, until the Rileys got Quackers the duckling. He, too, had lost a couple buddies along the way.
He was without any friends. And so Max would sit next to his pen all the time, and I think they just kind of bonded that way. And then after we let them get out, they just never left each other's side.
You could say that Quackers took to Max like a duck takes to water. But the feeling was mutual. Alone no longer. They now do everything together. Everything.
They sleep together, they eat together, they drink together, they go for walks together down the road. Everything is together.
They share carpeted sleeping quarters in the garage, and bright and early in the morning, it's not unusual to hear the sound of webbed feet and paws, sometimes even a quack and a bark. It's enough to get anyone driving by to do a double take.
We see people stopping over there all the time. The traffic gets clogged up over there sometimes because of all the pictures getting taken.
Pictures that they'll send to the Rileys.
They love it. They say it brightens their day. They're so happy to see this different friendship and love.
The Rileys know Max is no longer a young pup. He's 84 in dog years. But if you measure your journey through life by being a good friend to someone else, then these two have put on a lot of miles together. After all, if a dog and duck can put aside their obvious differences, why can't the rest of us?
Some people have said that a duck will find a mate, a companion, and once they have that companion, they're set. And that's what Quackers found with Max.
John Lordson, WCCO 4 News.
So in nature, normally a wild dog and a wild bird, they would never get along, right? And we wouldn't even be shocked to see a dog eat, a wild bird, right? Because we think that's nature's natural order. But in this video, we saw something else happen, right? We saw something a little unexpected. Maybe that dog was never taught that he was a predator and that that duck was his prey. And maybe the duck was never taught that he was supposed to fear a dog. Or maybe there isn't such thing as natural enemies. Maybe those behaviors are even taught and learned. So if this predator and prey can learn to live in peace and actually forge a beautiful friendship, then surely human beings can stop judging each other solely by the color of their skin, or what gender they identify with, or even how they look or dress. Let us respect the right of every person's right to live, as long as it does not bring harm upon anyone else. And remember, you don't have to like it. You don't even have to approve of it, but you do have to respect it. And I want you to remember this message as you cast your votes over the next several weeks. I want to make sure that a message of compassion and understanding towards all human beings is at the forefront of your minds. And even though we have different beliefs and ideals, we must always care for each other as human beings. Please join me in Gassho. Your voice is your most powerful tool. Let's make sure our Dharma voices are heard across the world. Let's make sure our voices shout out for equality, acceptance, and compassion for all human beings. Let us wash away the ignorance of hatred with the brilliant light of infinite wisdom and compassion. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Butsu. Naman Butsu. Thank you very much. Now I would like to play a clip of my daughter singing our final closing Gotha, Time for Dharma School.
Time to get ready for Dharma school, fall and winter and springtime too. Here in the temple a welcome sight, incense burning and candles bright. Bow and enter quietly, Gassho to the Buddha. Listen to the Dharma true, teachings of the Buddha. Time to get ready for Dharma school, fall and winter and springtime too. Here with our friends and our teachers dear, Dharma lessons throughout the year. We're so happy that we are here.
Thank you for that wonderful new Gotha. And I wanted to really give a little shout out to the Bca Music Committee. We have this wonderful group of people comprised of members from all temples throughout the BCA, and they formed this new Bca Music Committee, and we're trying to not just create new songs, but bring in music to our services. So we wanted to give a special shout out to the Bca Music Committee and thank them for creating that video. I also wanted to really thank the entire Betsuin staff, including everyone that makes sure the facility stays clean and safe and maintained. I wanted to thank the office staff for setting up the onaijin here for us and keeping the building just maintained and in good working order. And of course, I got to give a shout out to our temple president, Stuart Ito, for it's a tremendous effort to put together all of this technology and make it just seem completely flawless and seamless. So, you know, special thank you to Stuart. And I wanted to thank all of you for allowing me to share my Dharma message with you this morning. So please take care and everybody stay well. Thank you very much.